I was asked today, what is the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist? And some of it's semantics. A dietitian typically can be called a registered dietitian nutritionist, and it's typically someone that has been through formal education. It is now required to get a master's and typically a bachelor or a bachelor's of science, and then a master's of science or a master's of public health with a coordinated program. So that's typically 5 to 6 years of schooling. And then you sit for an exam that is geared towards whichever state you're in with a coordinated, unpaid, typically 1,600 hours of both clinical and community-based programs. So that means both hospital inpatient and outpatient. It could be even catering. A nutritionist typically means there's not such a coordinated education piece. There is typically maybe a more holistic piece where you're looking at root causes, and there's more of a functional medicine approach where you're using food in a very functional way to heal the body. Neither approach is wrong or right. Some people will now put it in the bank of sick care versus well care. We need both. Everyone disses sick care, and maybe I'm just projecting from my world, until they're sick. And then you're going to want the EpiPen, or you're going to want the surgery to fix the broken leg or whatever. Wellness is a very, first of all, profitable industry. It actually makes more money than the pharmaceutical industry, and it's unregulated. And so a lot of people will say the pharmaceutical is out to keep you sick. It's like, well, but the wellness industry is definitely out to keep you poor. And so it's this roundabout way. My little world, I love to get to know your story. And as a dietitian, I really want to lean into what you were taught, how your body is, how you were taught to eat, and how that's affecting your current story. Because if you can become aware of those things, it's easier to shift where you currently are. If you can become aware of how your story started with food, it really can help you with the perspective and taking next steps, and then even having your story heard. I do love looking at digestion. I do love looking at stool samples, not me personally, but figuring out, okay, what's going on in the gut, and what are some protocols to help heal the gut, which is almost impossible to try to fix because the gut changes every day. But I love the book by Emerson Mayer out of UCLA, that the mind and the body are connected. And what is it called? Where is the book? It's in here somewhere. I feel like I also love the book What Has Happened to You by Bruce Perry and Oprah Winfrey, and understanding that sometimes to move forward in health does require looking back at your story, not to blame or shame or guilt, but to understand where you're coming from with a little bit of kindness, grace, and compassion. So what a dietitian does is typically work in sick care. Typically, a nutritionist is going to work more in wellness care, but again, it's semantics, and that doesn't mean that's always. I work in both. I work with people who are trying to repair things from a sick point of view, and then I work with people who really want to feel well and have the resources and the time, which is a privilege, to do that. And so I think both are fun. I do love understanding where people are coming from if I have the luxury of time to do so, and helping them move 1 millimeter forward in their story so they can feel good as a human. I hope that answers your question. And if you're looking to be a dietitian, if you're looking to be a nutritionist, there's so many different ways you can go. I think asking yourself where you want to be, how you want to interact with people, in what capacity, will help answer if you want to take a formal education or a more informal. Neither are wrong, neither are right, just depends upon where you want to be. Hope this helps.